Hello everyone, I'm Mihai and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I will be picking up whatever I left off on the last video in regards of head functionality, testing, and playing up with the controls overall. If everything works as expected, I will be also machining some hold-down clamps for a vise that I recently bought off eBay. Without any further ado, let's just get right in. So, the fine feed hand wheel, this is just a junky one that I had laying around, and I just drilled the hole. I made a pin to match this hole and the hole into the head itself, and I also made a handle for it, which is made out of this shaft, which is just basically a M8 shoulder bolt, and it has a 10 mil diameter shoulder. These are really good for making such things because this is very precisely machined or maybe ground. I'm not sure. It saves a lot of work from having to turn one of this. Yeah, quite nifty. And then for the feed reverse pull knob, this is what the head came with. This looks very much so like the original one, but in here this had an M4 by 0.7 millimeter pitch grub screw that was partially threaded in here and partially out, but the thread in the feed reverse lever, it is 832 UNC. So probably this is from a clone machine, or I don't know. So what I decided to do is to only use the nice knurled part, this bit here, and I'm just going to scrap the rest. And I turn this little sleeve to go up in here. Sorry, the other way. It goes like that, and it has this enlarged shoulder here to stop the hand wheel coming off from the feed shaft. So I'll crack on with fitting this onto the machine. And the wheel cannot ever come out now whilst the thing is on, and I can adjust in and out. Probably will take a while to get used with the fact that when I pull the wheel out, then I still need to find its way back in, but that should be okay. Okay, let's check functionality. Oh, look at this. This is really good. Yes. Okay, time to do a real test with the motor power this time. Quill power feed on, low RPM. Okay. Clutch on. That's well cool. Let's change the feed. This is the slowest. This is medium. And this is the highest. And now up. Yes. Now testing for a feed trip. And let's see how that goes. And now, yes. Do one more. Bang. Nice one. I'm going to be using this piece of mild steel that I had laying around to make the 4 hold down clamps. Throughout this test run in the making of the hold down clamps, I will be using a series of different cutters, different diameters, different number of flutes, just to see what the result is. But for the beginning, just to face off at least this side only, I'll be using this Clarkson 16 mil 3 flute titanium coated end mill. Okay, I have set the VFD speed to give me about 800 RPM. I'll just fire it up and see how it goes. This is all hand feeding at the moment. And that was 0.2 depth of cut. Now we'll do 0.25 depth of cut and see what's happening. This is 0.4 depth of cut. Let's see how it goes on this one. Yeah, this feels very nice, really smooth. It is mild steel, it's very difficult to get really good looking finish on this anyway, but this is not terrible at all. It's really, really good. It passes the fingernail test. And this is it after machining. I think it looks really good. This here is where I stopped. I was actually talking with my neighbor whilst I was doing this. And yeah, I think it looks good. If this is gonna actually focus, maybe that 16 mil cutter was a bit too big for this and has quite a stick out, and then there is the ER40 holder as well, but for first try without any sort of adjustment, I think is great. Next, I'm gonna use a roughing end mill because I need to create a pocket 7 mil wide by 9 mil deep. Okay, so we have the 14 mil high-speed steel roughening end mill in, and I'm going to be cutting to almost a full depth of the channel, which is 7 mil. I flipped the part the other way around. So I'm going to be cutting to 6.5 vertically, and then I will be going in 2 millimeters into the part, and let's see how that goes. If it's too much, I might have to reduce the depth of cut ever so slightly. So let's crack one and see how it goes. It might be a bit too much for it, but I also want to try from the other end and see how that goes. Yeah, I think it's a bit excessive. It's pretty chattery. After a little bit of fiddling and playing around with it, I did manage to do three good passes on 2 mil depth of cut into the wall of this shoulder here, and it seems to like it a lot more if I climb mill instead of doing the other way around, conventional milling. So yeah, overall it appears to be good. The cutter survived. I've used a little bit of cutting oil here and there just to make everything a little smoother, but it does seem to do well even at pretty much big depth of cuts. Oh yes, that is a bang on finish there. It's been cutting both sides in the same time, the bottom and into the wall, and it's very good. And the long awaited step, at least for myself, on this test project part of the mill, I get to use the quill. Now, as for the reason I made these hold down clamps, is I got a toolmaker's vice of eBay. This was an item on auction, and it overall cost me only £39 with shipping included. It is a brand new toolmaker's vice. This used to be available at Arc Euro Trade, which they are not in business anymore. And it's quite a hefty one. It's not one of the small dingy ones. It measures 90 millimeters in width. Overall length, it's 210 millimeters. And then overall height, it is 80 millimeters. And it has such side channel, hence the reason I made this. They would just go in there like that to hold this in place. The quality on this thing seems to be one of a kind. Usually when you buy such things, they have the holes drilled on the side where the drill bit has gone through to create space for the locking mechanism, but these are very nicely machined, probably from this face. I just hope I can, I don't know, maybe find another one. It's quite a shame that Arc Euro Trade went out of business, I think, early last year or something like that. They were selling really, really high quality import tools. So, yeah. On the quick approach towards ending the video, I would like to say sorry for being absent for a week. I had a few other bits and bobs to work on, and these things are important for myself because they do help towards financing everything that I do in the garage. In the very near future, you will be able to see some, if not a lot, of these extra things that I do other than machining. Also, I had my mind put at challenge because I had decided to do something quite big. It's quite a big change for the workshop and for how I will be doing things going forward. This is something that's been ticking along in my mind for several years now, but I've always been put back by many, many reasons. But now it's actually the right time to uh, engage with this and see what's going to happen. In the next few video releases, there will be an announcement about this. I still haven't dotted the I's and crossed the T's just yet, but I promise you it's coming and it's gonna be nice. That's all I had for today. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.